Hello Celtic supporter, a huge piece of news has just broken in the last hour, and it brings a double development that could change the direction of Celtic in 2026. It is information coming straight from the transfer market and I bring it to you firsthand, but before I reveal all the details of this story, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave your like so you continue receiving all the latest Celtic updates. Now, without further delay, let us move on to what really matters. Wilfried Nancy, still in charge of Columbus Crew but with everything already lined up for him to officially take over at Celtic after the weekend match against Hibs, is beginning to show the kind of manager he will be in Glasgow: alert, demanding and ready to move the pieces on the board straight away to make the team competitive as quickly as possible. With Paul Tisdale, the head of football operations, working tirelessly behind the scenes and following the plan set out by Dermot Desmond, the Frenchman arrives with the mission of rebuilding the squad's confidence after Brendan Rodgers' departure and the interim spell under Martin O'Neill alongside Sean Maloney, who stabilised the dressing room during a delicate period. Within this context, a strong line of information emerges that Nancy is seriously considering the possibility of bringing back Honduran winger Luis Palma, currently on loan at Lech Poznan in Polish football, where he has been standing out with good performances, regular involvement in the league and the Conference League, and 6 goals that even earned him a recall to the Honduras national team. According to reports in the Honduran press, the player's situation changed precisely after Rodgers' departure, and the new scenario opens a door for the Frenchman to reassess Palma's role in the squad amid the injury crisis affecting Celtic's attack at a moment when the team desperately needs more offensive solutions. Rumours indicate that Nancy has left the option open for an early return, making it clear that he wants to look at the player closely before any definitive decision, something that pleases part of the support who always felt the Honduran still had more to offer in Glasgow. It is worth highlighting that Lech Poznan hold an option to buy for around £3.5 million, which would be a record fee for the Polish club, whose biggest investment until now was around £2 million, showing how Palma's performances have been valued over there. The player himself made it clear when he moved that the decision was much more about gaining playing time than any rupture with Celtic, stating that he wanted to play, learn more about European football and embrace the chance of performing in big stadiums and major competitions, even speaking to Honduras manager Reynaldo Rueda as a friend rather than out of obligation. Meanwhile, in Glasgow, the reality is harsh, with only Johnny Kenny and Kelechi Iheanacho available as recognised first-team strikers. Nancy knows that any further injury or suspension could leave the team totally exposed and predictable in the final third. For this reason, in addition to evaluating Palma's return, the Frenchman is also monitoring the market and already sees the name of Palestinian forward Wessam Abu Ali, currently at Columbus Crew, being linked with Celtic, a continuation of work he knows very well from MLS. The problem is that Abu Ali cost the Americans around £6 million after signing from Al Ahly, and he has a contract until 2027 with an option for an extra year, which has led the media to highlight that Celtic would need to dig deep into their pockets to convince both club and player in any potential negotiation, something that directly touches on the investment policy and the responsibility of the board to properly support the manager. In this scenario, Palma's possible return becomes even more significant, because it would be a quicker solution, with a player already adapted to Glasgow, familiar with the pressure from the support and with interesting numbers in a competitive European league, which may convince Nancy to give him a second opportunity under new leadership and in a different tactical approach. The big question, Celtic supporter, is whether you believe Palma deserves this vote of confidence or whether the club should focus solely on new faces such as Abu Ali and other targets, aiming for a complete rebuild of the forward line. So comment below, would you bring the Honduran back and let Nancy assess him more closely, or would you prefer to begin a new cycle with different attackers, with a more physical presence and stronger goal threat? In summary, what seems clear is that Wilfried Nancy's arrival will not be just a change of manager, but the beginning of a restructuring of the squad in which no player is fully ruled out and anyone in good form can come back into contention, as in Luis Palma's case. With the injury crisis in the attack, pressure from the stands and the need to keep Celtic competitive on all fronts, each decision about who stays, who returns, and who arrives carries the weight of a season-defining choice. Now I want to hear from you, Celtic fan. Write in the comments if you believe this possible return could be the spark needed to reignite the boys' attack, and make sure to leave your like, share the video and help strengthen our green and white community even further.